All right, so today we're going to break down this really fascinating new research report that tackles a huge question in AI. How do these incredibly smart models actually connect to the real world to get stuff done? Let's just dive right in.
We're going to start with a problem that I'm sure we've all felt. You ask your AI a simple question, something that needs up-to-the-minute info, and you either get a totally weird answer or it just says, sorry, my knowledge cutoff is from last year. It's frustrating, right? Well, there's a reason getting live information is so tough for them.
And that really gets to the heart of the problem. Think of these powerful AI models like these brilliant brains, but they're completely sealed off in a locked room. For them to be truly useful, they need a safe and, more importantly, a standard way to reach outside that room to get data and use tools.
So, to try and solve this, a really promising idea has come along. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. And its big goal? To create a universal standard for every single AI tool out there.
Okay, let's unpack that a little. At its core, MCP is trying to be a common language, a standard set of rules so that any AI model can talk to any external tool. Doesn't matter if it's a web search, a private database, or, well, anything else.
The absolute best way to think about this is the USB analogy. Remember the days before USB? You had a different clunky cable for your printer, another for your mouse, a totally different one for your camera. It was a complete mess. MCP wants to be that single universal plug for AI, one standard for every tool.
But here's the question. Just because you have a standard plug, does that mean every device you plug in works just as well? Well, that's exactly what researchers wanted to find out. So they set up this massive experiment. They called it MCPBench to see if this universal adapter idea really holds up.
So first up in the showdown, they rounded up a bunch of popular web search tools. You've got all the big names here: Bing, DuckDuckGo, Brave, a few others, and they set them all up to use this new MCP standard.
And then they did the exact same thing for database tools. These are the kinds of tools that would let an AI look up super specific info. Like, say, what were our sales figures last quarter? From a secure company database.
Then came the main event. The researchers put these new, standardized MCP servers head-to-head against the older way of doing things, which is known as function calls. You can think of function calls as more of a direct, custom-built connection. The goal was simple. Which one is actually better?
Okay, let's get to the results because this is where things get really, really interesting. The findings were not at all what you might expect.
And this just perfectly shows the first big shock. Just because you're using the new, shiny MCP standard, it doesn't mean you're going to get good results. Look at this. The Bing server got the right answers 64% of the time, but DuckDuckGo, using the exact same standard, was only right 13% of the time. That is a massive 51-point gap.
And it wasn't just accuracy. Speed was all over the place, too. The Bing tool was super fast, getting answers in about 12 seconds. But the Exacta search tool took, on average, 231 seconds. That's almost 4 minutes to do the same kind of task. Crazy.
And here's the real kicker. The old way wasn't always worse. Actually, one of the tools using the older function call method got an accuracy of over 55%, which made it better than a whole bunch of the new MCP tools. So this was proof. The new standard isn't some magic bullet.
So if the protocol itself isn't the secret sauce, then what is? What actually makes an AI tool work well? Well, the researchers found the answer when they took a closer look at those database tools.
And it all boils down to a really simple idea. How much work does the AI have to do itself? See, most of the tools took the hard way. They made the AI write out this complex, perfect database code just to get an answer. But a few of them took the easy way. They just let the AI ask a question in plain, simple English.
Okay, just look at this. This is the hard way in action. What you're seeing is the actual complicated code the AI had to create perfectly without a single typo just to answer a simple question. That is a heavy, heavy lift, even for a super smart AI.
Now, compare that to the easy way. What did the AI have to provide? Just the question. The exact same plain English question you or I would ask. The tool itself handles all that messy code stuff in the background.
And the result of making it easier for the AI? An absolutely massive 22-point jump in accuracy. This is the real breakthrough here. It's not about the protocol you use. It's all about how the tool is designed.
So, what does this all mean for where AI is headed? What's the really big takeaway from all this?
Well, it's pretty clear that building a smarter AI isn't just about building a bigger brain. It's just as important, maybe even more important, to build better, smarter, and more intuitive tools for that brain to use to interact with the world.
Which kind of leaves us with this final big thought. As we move forward, the race for the best AI might not actually be about who has the most powerful model. It might really be about who gives their model the most user-friendly, the most elegant, and the most effective set of tools. It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.